guys, welcome back to my channel, Vegan Yogi Linda, and today we're not on the mat or in the kitchen, we're in the garden. So I've decided to do something a little bit different, just to give you a background on this. Last year, in our first COVID lockdown, I decided to start a garden because I was out of work and thought, why not? I had never had luck with gardening in the past. I'd have a carrot here and there once in a while, but really I didn't have much luck. But I thought, I'm going to give it another try. So Rick and I built a raised bed that was 4 feet by 8 feet by 12 inches deep, and planted all kinds of vegetables in it, and it did fabulous. So this year I've expanded it. I've added another raised bed the same size, and I've got lots of pots and planters. So I'm going to take you on a tour, show you what I've planted, and that it doesn't really take much space to build a garden and to grow your own veggies. So going forward, I will take you through updates every so often. And if you have any questions or you're looking for any tips, just feel free to drop me a message down below and I'll answer it as best as I can. Once again, I want to let you know that I am not a professional gardener. I've just had some great luck with this, so I can let you know what works for me. And, we'll go through the harvesting stages and the cooking stages and all of that. So for now, let's lose the indoor glasses, put on the outside glasses, and take it outside. So here we are outside, and I want to apologize for any of the background noises. People are mowing lawns and trimming, and there's lots of birds. But we're going to start here. So I have in this pot right here, I have planted dill. We love dill. It goes great in potatoes, potato salad, or of course to pickle cucumbers, and they're starting to come up really nice there. I have my green onions, and these are from last year, and I just left them in and they have come up really healthy. You can see that I do harvest them when I want. I just cut some off, leave the rest in, and they grow back again. I have a new basil here, so it's looking pretty good. My French lavender, which is beautiful, smells fabulous. And I just left this over the winter, and I deadheaded it in the spring, and it shot out all these new shoots. It's beautiful. I have my spearmint over here, and this grows like crazy. I cut it right back, and you can see that it is growing wonderful. This is really nice to add to anything, like I put it in the spanakopita, any sort of Greek or Moroccan or Turkish dishes. A little bit of mint is amazing, adds great flavor. Now I have two of these lovely planters. They are about 24-inch deep, 24 wide, 24 long. And I've got a big trellis going up here. So I have planted peas here, and you can see they're all coming up. I planted them about a month ago, so they're just about to grab onto the trellis. And then I have 4 peppers here. So I've got, they're all hot peppers, 2 jalapenos, and a Thai, and I can't remember what the other one is. Here. It is a Hungarian hot yellow. And then in this planter last year, I had nasturtiums and sweet peas. Nasturtiums are a great flower that you can eat, nice and peppery. And you'll see I've got a couple of them growing back up here. So instead of pulling them out as though they're a weed, I'm going to let them grow because they are a great addition to a salad. They give a nice peppery taste, and you can eat the leaves, and the flowers are beautiful as well, and you can eat them as well. In this little pot here, I planted a tiny little oregano. And look at it's doing beautiful. So I'll be able to have fresh oregano, and I will also dry some in the dehydrator to last me through the winter. A garden wouldn't be complete with some flowers, and this one's in the shade right now, but I planted black pansies, and I don't know the names of everything. The pink flower here, and then this puts out a little white flower. So once it grows a little bit more, that'll be pretty. I've planted 2 of these. This one's doing really well. I'll show you another one that's not doing so well. I think it was too damp. It wasn't draining properly. These are my planters on the other side of our patio, and here you can see the same flowers not doing so well. So we have made some more drainage in the pot. I haven't watered it. It's still a little bit damp, but I'm hoping it'll come back. In this big square planter on this side, I have planted pole beans. So these, and I planted them a little bit early, but they seem to be doing fine. I thought I'm going to give it a shot. If it doesn't work, I can replant them. But they're growing fine. They're going to go up the trellis as well, and they give us nice long beans. In this planter, I have planted my pickling cucumbers, which I planted last year. They come in a little bit later, or they show a little bit later, but they did phenomenal last year, so I've cut them back a little bit so I don't have millions this year. My little planter here, I have planted parsley, and it's all starting to show. It's coming up nicely. Another nice green, throw it in some salad or as a garnish. I have my little miniature rose here doing fabulous. It was just tiny last year, and I left it over the winter, and it started to come up beautiful, and you can see it's really, really healthy. I don't have any buds on it yet, but it looks like it's trying. I have cilantro here. Now, I have tried cilantro a number of times because Rick and I love cilantro, and I have never had any luck with it. But you can see the little leaves here, they're starting to form. And the other day I pinched one off and tasted it. Awesome, awesome. Here I have rosemary. That's huge, and I never knew rosemary flowered, and it does, and the hummingbirds love it, the bees love it, and I have used this all winter long. I can take from it all the time. Beautiful. I bought 3 tomatoes from Costco because they had these amazing tomato plants, but I think it was too early for them to be out. You can see it's not extremely healthy, but it's still alive, so I'm looking after it. I do have this one's a cherry tomato. I'll show you the other ones. And there is a little tomato in there. You can see it's starting to grow, so I'll look after it, see what happens. And then my other tomatoes are over here. I've got, this one is our beefsteak tomato, also not doing great, but it's still alive, still coming back. And this one I thought was dead. It's a grape tomato, and it was down to just the stalks, but you can see leaves are starting to come out. So I may not get tomatoes on it this year, but I'm going to look after it as best I can. To replace this one, when I thought it was dead, I bought this one. This one was just a small, this is an early girl tomato. It was in a small pot from Canadian Tire, and it's doing the best. So I bought this one a little bit later, so it just goes to show you, don't buy your tomatoes too early. Lots of flowers on this, so we're gonna have lots of tomatoes. Let's head over to the raised beds. So this is my raised bed from last year that I have replanted this year. And so you can see we used cedar, and I've got a net over it because the cats thought it was a litter box. So I was digging stuff out and they kept coming back in, and so I've put this over. It has kept them out so far. So you can see my first row here is spinach, and I've got a big one in the center. This I actually planted last fall, and I have been clipping bits off of it, and I'm going to tonight to I'm going to do some steamed greens. So that one's from the fall. All of these other ones I have just planted this spring. They're popping up. My second row here is my kale and arugula. Kale, again, is from last year, and I have to stay on top of this or else it just grows like crazy. So I love it when the leaves are small and tender like this. And again, I'm going to harvest some of this today to go with that spinach. I'm doing cauliflower steaks on a bed of steamed greens, so beautiful. And then I've got my arugula growing up here, and I planted those about 4 weeks ago as well. And they're just, I could probably pick a couple of those too, or thin them through and throw them in tonight as well. My next row is mixed lettuce, and you can see it's a little bit scattered here, and it's because the cats were in there. But I've left it, and I will harvest those and clean it up when they start to grow. My next two rows are beets. We love beets. The thing I love about beets is you can eat the whole plant, the root and the leaves. So I will go in and thin these fairly soon because they are starting to come up really awesome. My next row is Swiss chard, which I've never grown before, but it's coming up really well. And this, you can't see it yet, but next time I show you, I've got multicolors in here, so yellow, reds, orange, so it's going to be beautiful. The next row is leeks, and I've got little signs of them, but not really yet, so I'm hoping they come up. My last row is onions, and they are coming up, and this is something else I've never had luck with before, so I'm hopeful, except for the green onions, but I'm hopeful these will grow. So let's see how we do. I'm also inside growing some celery from some scraps that I'm going to put in the corners, and it's growing well. Hanging on a pole here next to my raised bed, I have strawberries, and you can see they are growing beautiful. I've got lots of strawberries and even more flowers coming up, so doing really well. And just some flowers and a hummingbird feeder. Now this is the second bed that we added this year, and I've planted the bigger plants in here. So I planted potatoes and they did not do well, so I pulled them all up. I'm going to replant potatoes this weekend. So this is the first weekend in May, just to give you an idea. I'm going to be planting potatoes. My second row, I've got 2 plants of broccoli that did really well last year. Then I've got 2 of cauliflower, also did really well last year, and they're doing well right now. Then I have 2 cabbage, which I did not grow last year, but I thought I'd give it a try this year. Love cabbage, so versatile. And then in this next row, I planted a yellow zucchini, which if you watched last year, I had amazing luck with zucchini, but who doesn't? I mean, it's so easy. But this is starting to grow. And I also have watermelon, which I haven't grown, but how nice in the middle of summer to have a fresh watermelon. And this is a small one, an individual melon. So we'll be able to pick it, cut it open, and Buddy loves it too. And then I'll have another row of potatoes right here. I also wanted to point out our apple tree. We planted this last year and it is doing so well. It is thriving, had tons of flowers on it now, and some of them are starting to die now, but we've got lots more. So we're hoping that this year we get apples. Say hi, Buddy. Buddy's sitting in the shade. He's very sensitive to light. He's got very light eyes, so he always finds a shady bit, but he loves being outside. And here's my celery that I'm growing inside that I told you about. So we ate the top, the celery, saved the bottom. I've put toothpicks in it. I've seen it done this way, and just putting it in the bowl of water and then putting water in it. The shoots started almost immediately, and recently I've got some little roots showing up. So I should be able to put that into the garden soon. And I think I'll even start a second one. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour of my garden. I'm so very proud of it, and I get so excited when I see something growing, and I get even more excited when we get to harvest it and eat it. Once again, if you have any questions or you'd like any tips, just drop me a message down below and I'd be more than happy to answer. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. See you later.